Hey yo, what's good YouTube? This is going to be my beginner's guide to beating CHROMANIUM. If you're watching this video, I think it's safe to say you've already beaten Virtus. Now Virtus was a monster, we all know this, not only having a one-shot mechanic in front of him to deal with any of those brave enough to get in front for those frontal attacks, but also an arsenal of attacks for those unlucky enough to get caught up by as many tail whips. Now CHROMANIUM is the complete opposite of Virtus, in that he almost has no direct attack behind him, but what he lacks in quick attack power, he more than makes up for in health and defense. This guy has a copious amount of health, but with this guide you'll learn everything there is to know to defeat this thick-shelled beast. Now, CHROMANIUM can be broken down into 3 phases, each with a visual indicator to let the player know what part of the raid they're currently on. Let's begin with phase 1. It's the easiest as well as one of the most annoying phases to deal with in my opinion. You know how I said the guy has a lot of health and defense? Because of that, every second of damage counts, and in the first phase, he'll have you hopping around the map dodging mortars like your George McKay from 1917. One side slam. He can only slam on one side, so staying behind him is your best option not get hit. Slightly move to the opposite side of the incoming slam while constantly doing damage. Next attack is bombardment, where the boss will fire a cannon into the air. After about 2 seconds, small bombs begin dropping onto the battlefield with indicators as to their drop location. This is also a really good time to get your big damage in from behind, as the boss will be locked in place for around 10 seconds. The next attack we're going to talk about is the mortar. Now, this attack has the same startup animation as bombardment, but instead of firing down a barrage of smaller bombs, the boss will shoot down a single mortar on you or a teammate. This attack is fairly easy to avoid as long as the target doesn't stop moving. As soon as the boss begins the startup animation, the location of the mortar has been set. Do not stand still. Alright, so the next attack is the tracking orb. This attack has the same startup animation as bombardment and mortar, only difference is, instead of firing a red orb, he'll be firing a purple one. After landing, the orb will follow a player for about 10 seconds, or until it reaches the player, in which it would explode and stun the player for about 2 seconds. The next attack is the slowing orb. Now I put quotations around the word attack, because honestly this move isn't much of an attack, but instead a support move to help the boss land his actual heavy hitting attacks. This attack will have the boss summon 4 orbs in a square formation around him that impair their movement, as well as damage any player that gets too close. This attack lasts 20 seconds, meaning you don't only have to avoid the orbs, but as well as any other attack he could be using in tandem with the orbs. Alright, let's get on to the last attack of the boss's phase 1 arsenal. Cone Breath. Cone Breath, debatably one of his easiest attacks to dodge. To begin the attack, the boss will start sucking in air from his mouth, and after about 2 seconds of sucking in air, he will begin to blow in a large cone in front of him. Trust me, it's large. Out of this corner, to be fair. Are you serious? That hit me. So get behind him to avoid it. Once you get this knockdown animation, you'll know you've begun phase 2, where the boss will get a few new tricks up his sleeve. Nice, y'all made it past phase 1, that's great and all, but phase 2 is when this really becomes a pain. You'll be seeing a lot of leap in phase 2 and 3 going forward here. The animation starts with the boss extending both of his arms horizontal to his body, then leaping in a forward direction, and then slamming down, doing AoE damage under him. If you value your life, do not be under him when he lands. Alright, on to his next move in phase 2. Double leap. Double leap is the same exact thing as leap, only difference is instead of leaping once, he'll leap twice. You can do it in quick succession, so he can leap once, into a double leap, into another double leap, into another double leap, into a single leap or something, for example, okay? I've seen him leap a total of 5 times in a row, one after another, so keep those dashes to keep up or else you will get left. Now onto the boss's one-shot mechanic. This attack will kill you if you don't dodge it. Only way to survive it is if you're way higher than the recommended gear score, or if you're shielded by a bard or a paladin or something like that. So the full body slam is much like the leap and double leap, and it has 2 forms. It has a single slam and the double slam. Now the slam can and will one-shot you if you and your team do not dodge it. That's both the single and the double will one-shot you. When the boss is about to use slam, the ground under his hands will start rumbling, and after a brief channel, the boss will jump into the air, slamming down directly under him, killing everyone under him unless you're shielded or over geared, like I said. Through my experience, more times than not, immediately after a single slam, he'll proceed to double slam. The double slam is a 2-part attack. The first part is the exact same as the single slam, but only difference is you will not see the rumbling under his feet. So once he puts his hands close together, expect a double slam. The second part of the double slam is he'll slam down again, but this time the radius will be twice as big as the initial radius of the first slam, so get twice as far away. You'll know you have entered phase 3 when the boss starts looking like this. Eyes glowing red, shell cannon bright red. This means the boss is currently at 25% health. Okay, you're almost at the end. You and your team only have 25% left to go. On phase 3, the boss doesn't get anything too fancy, just some modifications of what you've already been dealing with this entire raid. In phase 3 of this raid, our friend's mortar got a little bit of an upgrade of what we weren't watching. In phase 3, the mortar now lingers in an area it lands in for around 15 seconds, dealing damage to anyone standing in its radius. On to the last mechanic. You guys remember those pesky slowing orbs from phase 1? Well, they're back with a vengeance. In phase 3, the boss will spawn 4 orbs around him in the same orientation as the slowing orbs from phase 1, but these orbs will pull any player caught in the radius to the center of the orb, all while simultaneously doing damage to them. Alright, thanks for watching guys, that's my guide for the CHROMANIUM raid boss. I hope you all enjoyed. I'll be posting more guides tomorrow. Comment down below if you want to see anything specific in the game. Follow me on Twitch, I stream daily. Peace.